What's going on, guys? This is Kaishiro. Welcome back. We are here with Justine, Dela Peña with his second place through Draco deck profile that he used on Kaido Billy's weekly tournament just today. So, without further much ado, let's start. Hello, Justine. Before we start our video, any introductions?
So I'm Justine Dela Peña. I've been around here for 3 times already for deck profiles. I brought in now a different deck, through Draco, my first deck. So yeah, that's all.
Okay, let's start.
So first off, our best through Draco, which will be Dynamite. We need Dynamite because trap cards are our best interruptions. You can tribute someone during your opponent's turn with trap cards, and yes, that will be all about it.
Okay.
Next will be Ignis Hit. Ignis Hit adds the spell cards, and spell cards are, every aspect of this deck is important. But spell cards, especially the spell card that recycles through the Draco cards, is very important for the grand game.
Okay.
Next, Majesty Maiden. You can run one. I run two because I have enough deck space now. I think I still haven't found a piece that I can replace Majesty Maiden with because I don't know. But I feel like I can cut one because of 3 diagram already.
Okay.
So that will be all for my monsters. So next, 3 demise. 3 demise. I think this is my favorite draw card. Next to the True Draco draw. Demise is really funny because sometimes if your opponent just ashes you up front from your duality or your other True Draco spells, you can punish them by going for card of Demise. And it's nice to see your opponent's faces when you draw this one up. And yeah, that's all. It's all advantage and it's fun.
Okay.
Next, the 2 Morganites. I want to use Pot of Extravagance for this build, but still don't have the card and I haven't tested it yet fully. During this tournament, it's effective on certain matches where I can grind, but I easily side this out. This is by far my most sided out card in the deck because at times you can afford to grind the games, especially with decks that can just explode with just 1 card. Next, Repot of Duality. It's really good for True Draco. There's nothing much more to explain. You can get high quality cards from Duality. That will be all.
Okay.
So for my True Draco spells choices, True Draco Heritage. For True Draco Heritage, this is also like Demise. There are some plays I made in my matches where I prioritize stacking the effect of Heritage in order for me to get maximum value. And it's also useful at popping back row cards, especially during this tournament run because I had many opponents that relied on back row cards, so yeah, that'll be all for this.
Okay.
Next, for the avarice of the deck, I only run 2. The reason being is that I think that running 2 is enough. If you can manage your resources correctly, you don't need to run 3.
Yes.
And the extra slot there in the deck really matters. And it also has the same utility as the Heritage.
Okay.
So next, the lifted 4 Dragonic diagrams. So diagram in this run of tournament was really good because I could cycle through my resources, get to my heritages through my disciples much more efficiently. And I think this is the reason why you can cut some of the True Draco monsters like Ignis Hit or Majesty Maiden. Whatever your choice is, whatever you feel like, the best one to cut it. But at this point, I'm not cutting them yet to 1 yet.
Okay.
So next, 3 skill drains. So I run 3. I previously opted to play 3 of this skill drain card, but what do you call this? At some situations, the normal skill drain is uh, more useful than Monarch setup. And of course, at some situations, this is also good when your opponents just try to remove your monsters. You still have a skill drain on your field, and skill drain is skill drain. It's cancerous, and you should play it. So next, 3 judgments. I run 3 judgments because of my habit back then that what do you call this? I was scared of back row removals. I think this is also good to stay at 2 during game 2s or game 3s in order to out what do you call this? In order to out dusters, lightning storms, and heavy storm. So yeah, you can also out some of your opponent's plays with this, but be careful when using this during game 3s or game 2s because time rules are really strict and you can get obliterated by this card. Next, our 3 Draco Apocalypse. So Apocalypse is one of the cards that can really help you win against unwinnable games with what do you call this? With decks that have big boss monsters. By having their attacks permanently, it can really ease the grind against those decks. And of course, the normal summon during your opponent's turn is really nifty, and you get to pop monsters on their field and just interrupt them.
Okay.
So next, for our Draco's return, tokens return, it's really good if you can set up diagram and this because your true Dracos are essentially have toughness on them. You need to attack them twice. Your special summon true Dracos. Then yes, that will be all the explanation. It has the same utility, which is to normal summon during your opponent's turn and pop their monster, which is really nice. So next, 3 summon limits. Summon limits, this is a I'm betting on the chances that I'm going first, and most decks nowadays normal summon more than twice and rely on on summoning more than twice. So I think this is a silver bullet against many decks, except for one of my matches, which was Phantasm Spiral. So next, TC Boom. I just run a one-off of this card because sometimes it's not very effective against decks that have different typings.
Yeah, true.
And it has low impact nowadays, I feel like, and I've been siding this very frequently during the tournament. So that will be all for my main deck. So we move on to my side deck. So first off, the one of Rivalry. Say, during this meta, I feel like Rivalry is very much needed for stun decks like Draco because it can help them fight off against many decks that have a plethora of types, or it can prevent your opponents from going into generic stuff like SP Little Knight and such, and it can help you lock out games. So if your opponent's playing what do you call this, Sparking, you can lock them into SP with this card if they make a mistake of making SP. So next, of course, the one of TC Boo. You just bump up the TC Boo in the main deck if you feel confident that you can, or if your opponent is probably using decks like Salamander that are just dead on arrival when TC book flips, it's really good because it's a flat gate. There's nothing much worth explaining. So next, the one of Dark Ruler. This is a one-off because I don't really struggle much with combo deck since I have built-in board breaking from my through Draco spells and traps. And if I do need more firepower, I have extra cards here that can help me break boards. Yeah, that will be all. Next, another board breaker, Harpy's Feather Duster against back row decks, nothing much more. Crackdown. I don't really have an really deep explanation for this, but I feel like some decks get really affected by the strap card. I think this is the one of the things that you can replace in the deck if you want to. So yeah, I haven't really found much use for Crackdown this tournament. So Anti-Spell. Anti-Spell, of course, there are some decks that dies instantly on this, especially if they rely on in-game tools. Since in the OCG meta, people have opted to side deck stuff like Harpy's Feather Duster and Heavy Storm. You can use this card in order to avoid that issue now, and since people have, as I've observed, avoided in using Cosmic Cyclone, it's really good. Next, for board breakers evenly. So best board break cards if you can pull it off. Now for Amano Iwato, a really good card if your opponent has really outrageous boards that just seem to be towers like, feels like a towers deck. So yeah, it's really effective, especially I just noticed this in my last round against Centurion, but I think if I sided this in my first Centurion matchup, I think I would have a better score. So finally, 3 Solemn Strikes, you call this the black sheep of the deck, the underdog. If you watch the videos, this is really effective against my matches, especially since I fought against 2 Centurions. So when they summon their synchros, just flip this and they just pass it.
Okay.
So yeah.
So any shoutouts before we end this video, Justine?
So shoutout sa Karasu sa pagte-train sa akin lagi. Shoutout sa Team Salad, mga nakaka-RD ko dyan, and of course sa kay Duelist.
Okay, thank you.